Hello Dinkum fans and welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing a cute little build on a collaboration island, and I had this wacky inspiration at like 4 in the morning, restless night, couldn't sleep, so I thought, you know what, I'm gonna build, because that's what I do. That is what a content creator does. We don't sleep. We just eat, dream, and stress over the content that we are going to create for you wonderful people. Now, my idea was this particular island is, I think we're going in like a beachy resort kind of theme. So I thought, what would be really cool would be to make like a quaint little tiki bar that is an extension of the dock. Now, if you've seen my previous video on the dock makeover that we did for Calliope, this is a similar vibe, but so not the same vibe. This has got a totally different aesthetic going on. And I'm trying something new, actually, in terms of placement and overall design. So what I'm doing is I'm going the wrong way. First of all, I didn't want to build it up that way. I actually wanted to build it up side by side, going vertically, not horizontally. Horizontally, not vertically. I'm not good with directions. Those of you that know me know I failed my cardinal directions. So all I know is left, right, up, and down, and side to side. That's all I know. So what we're doing is we're going to make an arch, and we're going to do that really cool looking arch where we use the bridge. So all you need to do, all I did was I went 4 or 5 up, and I went 2 spaces, because that's about what you need for the bridge on either side, and a fair amount of space in between, to really make sure that it fits. Now all you have to do really is just kind of play around with it till you figure out where it fits perfectly. Now I'm using a particular mod where I can turn the sand into brick, or like the sand into dirt. So when you see me using this cement bag, that is actually the mod that you can download in order to make your life easy. And if you wanted to go back from dirt to sand, you would just use a sand dollar, which I think is incredibly perceptive. So now that we have the spacing that we want, we're going to make everything the same. Isn't that a cool mod? I think that's a really cool mod. So we're going to just test out and see if the bridge actually fits. And it does. So we place it. Isn't that so cool? I love that. And we have this cute little entrance for the front of our tiki bar. It's going to look super, super cool, y'all. I'm also using another mod where you can store things in an old wheel, and you can move trees and you can move plants and everything without actually having to dig them up. Another cool mod that I think everybody should have. So I use these bottle trees because they are my favorite in this entire game. I don't know why. They fill a space beautifully, and I think they just overall give a really beautiful aesthetic. And of course we gotta have some banana trees, because we're going tropical, we're going functional, and of course the pine trees. Now I do regret, in hindsight, maybe I should have used coconut trees, but I didn't have any at the time, so we went with what we had. So I went about 5 spaces down and about 6 spaces over, give or take. definitely 5 spaces down, and I undershot it just a little bit, and so I actually stopped here when I should have taken it one more space over, but I do correct that, you will see. It is corrected. So now we're making the platform for our tiki bar. I think, it's a great sort of welcoming space because, again, it is right off of the dock. So when the airship lands, the first thing it's greeted with is a tiki bar. So those getting off can get a refreshment before they go on an island tour. The whole lore is there, and I absolutely love the way that this is coming together. Now, this island, of course, is in early days. It is nowhere near being anywhere completed, or it's still almost in the embryonic stage, if you will. We're still very much trying to map everything out, and but I ran with the tropical theme, so I thought that would be cool. Let's get a tiki bar, and it was such a fun build. Like, I had so much inspiration. I cut out so much. Like, you never know until you've edited a video that you recorded just how much you rely on going in and out of your inventory. Like, those of you that have edited like Animal Crossing videos, do you know how much we go in and out of our inventory in a single building session? Like, it is wackadoodle. And those of you that use the dev menu, I had to cut out so much of that because we rely so heavily on it. And I thought it was just insane, the amount. Like, I think I cut about 15 minutes of footage that was just either using the dev menu or using going back and forth between my inventory to get things to go into my tool belt. So it was definitely eye-opening just how much we rely on that. That's my TED Talk for the day. Just know that we rely heavily on our inventory and not so much on our tool belt. So that's the thing. If you guys are content creators and you are recording videos, my biggest rule of thumb, try to have your tool belt completely empty and only put things in there that you're either going to decorate with or that you're going to maybe use in the near future. So I used a little bit of a trick here as well. I realized it was getting late. So what I did was I went into the command menu and I just did set time, and I changed the clock backwards to 7 a.m. If you remember, I did put out a short showing you how to do that very thing. So if you're doing a build and you don't really want to stop and sleep and go to the next day, all you can do is just go into the command menu and then set time, set it to a time in the past. Now, you do still have to sleep if you want to save your progress, but it's a really cool feature to have if you're like on a roll building and you don't want to stop. I've used it so much. It's insane how much I've used it. So I love these fairy lights. These new fairy lights are so cute, and I thought, what better way to sort of enhance our tiki bar than, getting the fairy light wall and getting the festoon lights and, trying to give more party elements and really kind of utilizing all of the really cool beachy items that we have in the game to sort of reinforce the tiki bar vibe. Now, obviously, of course, we are limited by the items that we have in the game, but I try to not let that deter me. I try to use very eclectic things, and you'll notice that in a lot of my builds that even though it doesn't seem like a cohesive build in terms of items, but I think with the way in which you use the items can really make a difference in terms of like continuity of your build. Like there's no right or wrong item to really use. It's all about cohesiveness, and it's all about sort of bridging that gap between what would be considered, you know, insert whatever theme you're working on here. You know, it's very much a personal journey when you're designing, and any combination of textures or of colors or objects, items, any variation on those, I think is so amazing, and it's such a testament to your creativity. Like these animal dens turned backwards, I gotta give props to Jersey because that was a genius idea. I had never seen it before, and so I thought it was really cool to kind of turn those backwards and just kind of have them be an accent backdrop to what I'm doing. And, you know, the furniture and, you know, the umbrella, the food, you know, we put foliage, we've got, you know, we'll put a keg there just to kind of reinforce the idea of a tiki bar, right? So that's the thing. And of course, we got to have tiki torches for a tiki bar. I don't know why. I think I was afraid that the umbrella would catch on fire because every angle that I looked at that from, it looked like it was going to catch on fire, even though I knew for a fact it wasn't going to, but I was still quasi-paranoid. So I had a random thought about using the crab pot just as kind of a little nautical nod, since we're right on the beach. And, you know, that's another thing too, like utilizing and incorporating some of those items that maybe wouldn't necessarily go, right? And I think that they do. And so the planter boxes themselves, I really wanted to reinforce, again, kind of the red color, just to kind of go with everything that we were doing. And you shouldn't run with fire. Don't run with fire. Whatever you do, that's dangerous. Even though you're close to the ocean, don't run with fire. That's the moral of this story today, friends. Don't run with fire. And so I wanted to also sort of connect everything. So we're using the same kind of pathing. We're using the same sort of color scheme, if you will. We've got the browns from the bridge and the hardwood pathing. And then, you know, we got some of the darker browns. We got the keg. We got all of these things that I think really cement the idea of, oh, okay, this is obviously a bar, right? This is so much fun. And to have these tiki torches kind of line the entryway, since nothing can actually go on the dock itself, we have to be creative and find ways to get things around it. That's why we extend it, so that we can build on it and make it seem functional, right? And I added, as a final touch, this really cute, like, wooden sign that just says Misfits Tiki Bar, right? Because the island name is Misfit Isle. So we just signed it off. I hope you guys liked the video. I had a fun time making it for you. And as always, I will see you guys on the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.